So hey, so in this video I want to talk about marathons, and I was just wondering about how if you want to prepare for a marathon and all that, right? From my personal experience, I found that gradually progressing has helped me a lot. For example, walking a lot. I used to walk a lot before, a lot in the sense that every day, once at least, or a few times, and every walk is usually long, like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, sometimes even 5, 10 kilometers and all, or 6 kilometers and all. And there was a point once I was there, I was like, walking say 13, 15 kilometers or 18 kilometers if I could, every day in the early morning for like 2 hours or so. And I did this for like a few weeks, I think 2, 3 weeks max, and it was pretty cool. So, and this I was trying fast walking. Of course, I can't walk fast all the time. Say first hour or so I can walk fast, and then I think I'll slow down. I'm not some machine who can just keep going on. And even machines need energy, like power, like say battery or whatever, electricity or whatever, to keep running the same, and they need maintenance. So same way you also need energy. The human body is also some sort of machine. So I need energy, and I need stamina and whatnot. I'm still learning about that. So gradually progressing has helped me. So walking a lot, and then practicing running, and since marathon is a long distance, practicing long distance running is helpful. And some people also talk about how sprinting can also help you, like just in learning how to run, how not to run. Especially, for example, when I was in a running group in Chennai, they told me that keeping your shoulders broad and like this, instead of like running like this, because when you do this, right, and you're like slouching and whatnot, your the lungs, actually the lung capacity is smaller, I think. So if you keep it like this, your lungs are like more open and like bigger, stretched. That's the logic they told me. And generally slouching also doesn't help, it seems, with respect to lung capacity and all, and like breathing and whatnot. So you could check it out. This is what I've learned. Just keep your shoulders as much as possible like this, and for example, don't run too straight, as if you're sitting straight, but lean a bit, but not too much also, of course. So these are some things that I've been told. And of course, your legs matter. For how you keep your legs, for example, I used to run like this, I think, before, like this, in a V shape. I was told that it's better to keep my legs like this, properly straight. And it also matters how you keep your hands and all, and how you swing, and how you keep your steps. Simple, do you actually step on your toe, or do you step in the center of the sole, or do you step on your heel? I was told stepping in the middle of the sole is better, middle of the foot, and stuff like that. And yesterday I actually stumbled upon an interesting thing. Like, I was actually planning to go for a practice short run for my marathon run today. So I went for the TCS World 10K marathon, and but I didn't run 10K. I was running 5K because I wasn't confident about running a 10K at the time when I was registering. And it's also a good thing that I didn't, because I don't feel like I'm confident based on my health conditions currently. And so yeah, I have been having vitamin deficiencies and whatnot, and I've not been sleeping well and whatnot. So there's like multiple things that I have that needs fixing. So I get to fix that, and then I get to run. So I get to do all of that and learn. So yesterday I was planning for a practice run, and then but I couldn't, because the running track that I went really late. That was my bad timing, bad management of time. So I'm still learning time management. So I get to learn that. I get to learn a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, I went late. So then I was like, okay, let me at least just go for a walk. So I went for a walk. The plan was, I was like, where do I walk to? And I was also looking for a different place where where I can run, because this place was closed because I went very late. They said 4 to 6 or something is open, and I went at like 7:30 or 8 something at night. And they'll probably be thinking, who the fuck runs at night? and but apparently there are night runs. There is something called Uru night run. Anyways, so I usually run in the mornings only. Very rarely on the evenings. I have run in the evenings before. Anyways, so yesterday I was like, okay, let me go to a nearby place, open place to run, or at least go for a walk. And then, so then I was like, okay, let's go to the place where I'm actually going to run itself. Like today, I went for the run. So this is in Bangalore, in Ulsur Lake, near Ulsur Lake. So it's like this. So I was in Kantirva Stadium yesterday evening, where it was closed. The running track was closed. So I was like, okay, let's just walk to Ulsur Lake, and I'll also get to see the place where I'm going to run and all. And it was my first time to Ulsur Lake, and it was pretty dark. I couldn't see much, but I went for a walk, and then I went actually around the Ulsur Lake also, apart from just reaching the Ulsur Lake. So I think it is a great thing to actually be able to visit the place that you're going to run at. If you're going for a marathon, or like generally going for long runs, you plan to go for long runs, I think. And if you're going for a marathon, and if you want to practice, let's say you want to go work on your pace, you want to win the race, win the marathon and whatnot, I think it's a very good idea to actually go ahead. It makes sense. It's kind of like a no-brainer to actually visit the place that you're going to run at. So if you're going to run at, like, say, Ulsur Lake, in this case I was going to run at Ulsur Lake, around the Ulsur Lake. So visit the place, check out the venue, check out the route, and better if you can actually run around the place a few times or more than a few times. I live in Bangalore, so I can easily actually go to Ulsur Lake, and the venue and the route is usually announced way before itself. So if you know the venue and the route, just go ahead and visit the place, and keep running there for a few days, few weeks, say every morning or whatever time the marathon is going to be at. Just try that time, and you will actually get used to sleeping properly, and also going to the place at the right time, and trying to check your pace, trying to start at the time that the marathon is expected to start at, and see what is your pace, and familiarize yourself with the route, understand the elevations and whatnot, how is the road, because when you run on running tracks it's very comfortable, right? But the roads, marathons, you can't have very easily, you can't have tracks which are like as big as a marathon, like 42 kilometers or 20, like half marathons are 21 kilometers and all. In this case it was just a 5k for me. So you can have running tracks for 5 kilometers, but usually running tracks are just circular, right? So you just go in circles, and but marathons don't usually happen in running tracks. It's not like you just go in loops. I mean, there are marathons like that. For example, Uru Night Run, they have it as a loop only. For 10k, I think it's a double 5k. You just run two laps or two loops. The loop is actually 5 kilometers. Anyways, so you just have to run on roads. I usually have been told that it's better to run on tracks, and it's more nice for your legs. But then, if you're running a marathon, official marathon, and if you're running long runs and you don't want to run in a loop, I usually don't like so much of loops. I like to run in a straight road and just keep going on and on and on. But it's hard to find a straight road that is comfortable for running, and that has a good shade, that has good trees and like many trees, where you can breathe well and whatnot, and doesn't have traffic. I mean, of course you can run in the early morning. Anyways, but you will be running on roads only mostly if you're running long and you don't want to run in loops, right? So it's good to check out the roads, understand how they are, and and then of course hope that or understand if the run is actually a proper official run where it's actually properly managed. For example, TCS World 10K is properly managed, so the traffic and all, they work with the Karnataka government, in this case in Bangalore, so it's Karnataka government. So they work with the government, the traffic police and whatnot, and they say you can't have vehicles going around in this road, and these are all closed, and traffic management and whatnot. So but still, early morning you can actually just run and see how the traffic is like, and understand stuff, and but yeah, ensure that you're safe. But if you're running early morning, I think it shouldn't be a problem. You should be able to run easily, and when there is usually not much people around, that's one of the advantages of running early morning, you can take advantage of the behavior of the majority. Majority people don't wake up early or do stuff early morning. Very few people and things are happening in the early morning, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So you can go for runs for weeks, months, and understand the route, get familiar with the places in the route, and like be like. I think familiarity helps. It's your mind gets used to it, and it's also like a good habit. So you just create a habit out of like running in the route in the venue and whatnot, and understand your mind and your body gets used to the like the route and whatnot, and what else, the elevation and whatnot. You get all that information, but of course even if you can't, it's fine. And usually the routes for marathons are pretty good only, usually good roads and whatnot, and they ensure all that. And so yeah, I mean, but it's a good idea to actually familiarize yourself. You will get used to it, and you will also be able to pace and like learn and understand your pace, especially if you want to win the race, or like just improve your pace and like ensure that you hit a good pace. So that's that. And what else? And yeah, I mean, of course, ensure that you're healthy. And like, for example, recently I got a cold and a cough, so that actually causes problems. I realized yesterday when I was walking around, I realized that I'm actually breathing, and sometimes my nose was getting blocked. So, and I actually have a congestion in my throat. So if my nose is blocked and there's a congestion in my throat, I can't breathe very easily then through my nose or my mouth. So it becomes harder to inhale through my nose and exhale through my nose, or inhale through my nose and exhale through my mouth, and whatnot. So there are breathing techniques for even running, of course, for exercising, running, for everything. There's a breathing technique. So it's important to understand your ENT, your ear, nose, throat, and like ensure that your breathing and whatnot is good, and in general you're healthy. So even if you have a cold, it's going to be tricky to run if you can't breathe properly, so it's going to be harder, right? So, and understand your diet, diet. So the food you eat and whatnot, and how much water you drink and whatnot. So I would recommend reading more about marathons, running, and prepare, so that the prep work is like helpful for you. And so those are some ideas for like prepping for marathons and running in general. And yeah, of course your accessories also matter. For example, wear a t-shirt or whatever that is actually comfortable for running. If you feel comfortable in a bit loose clothes, wear that. Whatever is comfortable for you, and also ensure that if you sweat a lot, your clothes actually absorb the sweat and also dry the sweat very quickly. So it's called dry fit, I think. Usually it's not cotton. I think it's some sort of like artificial, like not natural material and all that. But it's fine as long as it works. But you're just going to wear it for some time, so I think it's fine. So wear comfortable clothing. And for example, if you want to track your run, and if you have a watch, great. If you don't have a watch, understand how you can actually track your run with your phone. For example, I've seen some people wear like phone holders on their hand, where you actually put some band over here, and then the which holds your phone. So, and in my case, I hold my phone and run. I got used to it. But what is comfortable for you, you can try all of that. If you want to track your run, your phone can track your run if it has. Most phones have GPS and all, and you just have to install something like Strava or whatever. I use Strava. Or if you have a watch, if it can track it, awesome, great. Along with your phone, or without your phone, awesome. I think some watches like the Garmin watches, which are more on the costly side, the expensive side, can actually track without anything else. But sometimes you'll need your phone for emergency calls and stuff like that. So it's good to have your phone also. So something to check out and think about. And what else? So yeah, I mean, just read and check out some of these points. Check out the venue. Check out, understand your health. Understand your breathing, understand technique, how to swing your hands, how to use your legs, how much to bend your legs, and and what else, like, and how to, and to win a marathon, I'm sure there are proper techniques, like how much speed to run for initial few kilometers, and then in the between few kilometers, and then the end of the uh, close to the end of the marathon and all that. And then, I mean, I plan to actually win marathons someday. For now, I'm just like practicing and making it a consistent habit. So yeah, consistency is key. Yep, that's an important thing. Yep, and yeah, and sleep well and whatnot. So ensure that your body, your most important machine, is actually at its best. And yep. So that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.